We've got a lot of Chicago in today's show.
Yeah,
and I like it.
It's a conspiracy.
Sweet home Chicago. Well, this is why. It's not that all you need to be a great chef is love. You need some cooking talent and a lot of hard work, too. But love of good food is an excellent starting point, and our guest chef this morning has plenty of that.
He sure does. Rodelio Aglibot, also known as the Food Buddha, has spent the last few years as a restaurant consultant. But he now has returned to the kitchen as executive chef at Earth Plus Ocean Food and Drink in Mount Prospect, Illinois, near Chicago. Chef Aglibot, welcome to the
Thank you.
dish.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in.
All right.
So what do we got here?
Well, we have some of the things on the menu at E&O Food and Drink, but one of the ultimate dishes for me is this Malay-style Chilean sea bass.
Yeah, looks beautiful.
And it's a dish that started with me 20 years ago, actually. And the dish sort of, when I was in culinary school, I went to an Indian restaurant and they had these flavors and they created this tandoori sea bass. And I thought to myself, you know, one of these days I'm going to create a dish that's inspired by that. So 10 years later, 2004, writing a menu, I locked myself in a prep kitchen and just, for the first time, just put everything in a bowl and this is what created.
How many times did you have to do that to get it right?
You know, it was one of these magical things that happened. It was the first time.
The first time.
The first time.
'Cause
Wow.
For a lot of people, fish is tough. You know, it's hard to make it the right way. Either it's overcooked or it's undercooked. Do you
Yes.
have any words of wisdom,
Well,
Buddha?
this always. Well, for one, use all your senses. For this particular, obviously, your sight and your smell definitely will help. You'll know when the fish is done. When the crust starts to caramelize a little bit, and that smell, it just permeates through your kitchen.
This is fantastic, by the way.
The reason I called you Buddha, by the way, is because that's your nickname.
Yes.
How did that come to be?
I got the nickname Food Buddha a few years back, where some media would start talking to me about my career and about how I sort of looked at life and looked at food. I believe there's always a connection between the food and my own personal history. And they're like, you never talk about the food. You're always talking about people and how you connect, and everything is circular. You're like the Food Buddha. And then it's stuck ever since.
And everything's been Zen ever
Everything's been Zen ever since.
You actually grew up in Hawaii.
Yes.
Now, not a lot of people would have migrated from Hawaii to Chicago.
Well, I'm a Navy brat. So my
Okay.
father was a Navy cook, so he's actually my first mentor.
Your father was a Navy
Yes.
cook. Wow.
And that's where I got the inspiration for this pork belly fried rice. Being Filipino descent, my mom would also cook too. And
They didn't eat like this in the Navy.
no, they did not eat like this in the Navy, but definitely showed me the work ethic. No, my dad definitely was that trainer in me in working hard.
Very interesting.
I saw you making this cocktail during one of our teases. Tell me about this. It's beautiful.
Oh, well, cheers.
Cheers.
We've been hearing about this cocktail all week. I'm
Well,
really looking forward to it, by the way.
It's always really refreshing. It's one of these. It's a watermelon-based, obviously, cocktail, and it's on our menu. What I love about it, you can drink it any time of year.
Yeah.
It's just really refreshing.
And it brings you right back to the beach. No
I
matter
think
what
with the
time
ginger,
of year.
exactly. I think the ginger beer gives a little effervescence and makes it go down really easy. And the fresh mint gives a little spot.
So if you could have this meal with anybody, who would you have it with?
That's a great question, but I would have to say, because I was able to meet one of my mentor chefs, idols, but I would say Julia Child.
Julia Child.
Yes, I would have to say Julia
She
Child.
gets a
heard
lot of
that
votes on.
answer
She gets a lot of
before.
votes on this show.
Well, Chef, thank you so much for joining us on The Dish. We'd love to have you sign our dish.
Oh, thank you
it's our
very much.
little tradition here at CBS This Morning, Saturday.
Thank you.
Chef I'm going to get that right. Chef Rodelio Aglibot.
Yes.
You're worth it. Thank you.
Thank you.